It's no secret by now that we love all of the cute, cozy, and casual games on this channel, and that's exactly what we talked about in my last video. All of the 2022 game releases so far that has given us the most cozy, relaxing, and comforting feels that we love so much. But what about all the other game releases on the Nintendo Switch? It was a little bit hard to narrow down this list, I must admit. As you guys know, I jump from game to game to game because I just want to try everything, but these are the games I've consistently kept coming back to. I think there's something here for everyone, so hopefully you will find your next Switch pickup here. Hello my friends, my name is Kat, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for joining. If you like what you see today, please consider sticking around, checking out my other videos, and maybe even subscribing. Pokemon Legends Arceus was the first big release this year, at least for me, and a lot of Pokemon fans as well, and it really exceeded a lot of my expectations. If it is your first time hearing about it, but you kind of know a little about the Pokemon that we've known for years, just think of it like a remix of the traditional Pokemon formula that we've known all this time. In this game, we come back to the Sinnoh region of Generation 4, originally from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum on the Nintendo DS. But this time, it's in ancient times, when people are just discovering and learning about Pokemon, how to coexist with them, how to catch them, train them. It's also a taste of that open world setting and a more non-linear gameplay that many fans have wanted in a mainline Pokemon game for years, which we will be getting in the next gen game later this year. But if you're looking for a new Pokemon adventure to try, I think that there's a lot of fun to be had here already. I know of a lot of people who played Pokemon for the first time in Legends Arceus, and it's always fun to see new fans coming over to one of your most beloved franchises since childhood. Life is Strange True Colors is my very first Life is Strange game, and I'm so glad that I tried this one. After many recommendations coming from previous platforms that it's been on, it did come out on the Switch this March, and I gotta say I've never experienced this beautiful narrative interactive type of gameplay before. It follows Alex, who just moved back to her hometown, and she has this supernatural ability which she has suppressed for far too long, and it basically lets her experience, absorb, and manipulate any strong emotions that she can feel from others. After the tragic passing of her brother in an accident, she must now let this suppressed ability take over so she can find out what truly happened to him and reveal the secrets of this dark, small town. You can get different outcomes in this game based on different choices, so it has that replayability factor to it as well. Atelier Sophie 2 is a brand new entry in the long-running series of Atelier, and it does follow the first game, Atelier Sophie, which I have not played, but this game does an amazing job to catch you up story-wise if you haven't played the first one, and really does cater to new players. I'd say if you're new to the Atelier series, this one is a good one to jump into besides Atelier Ryza 2, which I have played on the channel before. That one was actually my first Atelier game, but I think you'd be good in either. This one picks up after the first Sophie game after leaving her hometown of Kirchenbell to pursue becoming a certified alchemist. She enters a parallel world where she meets an old friend, except they get separated, and what is an RPG game without troubles ensuing, of course. And her new adventure begins again. Atelier games focus a lot on the alchemy and magic mechanics, of course, which is the biggest standout in these games, along with the colorful world and characters. It's a really fun adventure RPG to get into if you haven't already. Now, I've mentioned this before, but I am ashamed to say that I haven't really gotten into or given a good chance to the tactical strategy RPG genre, although I love a good turn-based RPG and JRPG. I just have found this particular genre a bit intimidating for a casual gamer, I suppose, but all of that has changed since I tried triangle strategy. I'm really glad that I finally dove into this one this year. Besides my expectations of the beautiful artwork similar to Octopath Traveler, I really didn't know what to expect. Besides the gorgeous visuals, I think that the characters and the stories are well written, and it really does get you invested in wanting to learn more. I love the voice acting and above all, the gameplay. In this case, the story focuses on a war between 3 countries that arose from fighting over the very scarce resources of salt and iron. Every move and decision that you make can impact the rest of your game, so it really makes you sit and strategize, hence being a strategy RPG. I'm definitely eager to try out more of this genre now thanks to Triangle Strategy, and if you've also never tried anything from this genre, I would highly recommend this one. And because Triangle Strategy is my first proper playthrough of a tactical strategy RPG, that unfortunately also means I haven't fully played the beloved Fire Emblem series, apart from trying out a couple Game Boy Advance games way too long ago. I've been meaning to try Fire Emblem Three Houses because of all the love and praise from the fans. So when Fire Emblem Three Hopes was announced, and it is a Warriors style Fire Emblem game, it was something that I was very curious about, to kind of dip my toe into that Three Houses world and Fire Emblem lore and characters, I suppose. And I wasn't wrong. At least I wasn't disappointed. Three Hopes as a hack and slash Fire Emblem game makes it feel a bit more approachable for me because I did enjoy other Warriors spin-off games on the Switch like Age of Calamity for Breath of the Wild and Persona 5 Strikers, wherein it keeps a lot of the setting and characters from the main games, enough for it to feel familiar but also really different. I think it's the perfect way to introduce me to this world, and now I'm actually really eager to play the mainline game to experience more of this world, the characters, and story. It's really hard to explain, but hopefully the gameplay that you're seeing is doing it justice. This has been a really cool title for me this year. We love Rune Factory over here. I did do a gameplay preview of this as well as a beginner's guide. If you want to check it out, I will have it linked in the cards. It's really hard not to sneak in a cozy game or two in any of my videos, so this is the one for this list. Rune Factory 5 is the first brand new entry in the series since Rune Factory 4 almost 10 years ago on the Nintendo 3DS. This takes place in the town of Rigbarth, where you find yourself stumbling into with lost memories. So through your journey of recovering these memories, you take on the position of a ranger in this strange town, and you farm and raise animals, get to know and help all the villagers. There are romance options, lots of other customization options, and what makes it different from our usual farming games is that there is a strong RPG portion to it. But even after the main story is finished, there is still lots to do, which makes it an easy pick up and go game for me any day. Now, who could not include this adorable pink puff in their 2022 Best Switch Games list? Kirby and the Forgotten Land is Kirby's first foray into the 3D platforming world, so think of it like Kirby but Super Mario Odyssey, and what's not to love? In this game, Kirby explores an ancient, abandoned civilization called New World. The Waddle Dees village from Dreamland has been destroyed and they are being kidnapped, so you go on your way to rescue them and help rebuild their town. And like all Kirby games we're familiar with, the game operates in different worlds or stages with increasing difficulty. The world is also filled with the cutest, most colorful, non-threatening monsters to defeat or inhale and acquire the abilities of. Classic Kirby. And with Kirby's newest skill called Mouthful Mode, you can inhale real-world objects, giving him an even more powerful transformation to defeat the enemies or simply give a fresh way to explore and see the world. This next game is an almost nostalgic release in a way. Well, it's like a tribute of an old Wii favorite, which was Wii Sports, and this is Nintendo Switch Sports. I remember thinking how revolutionary motion controls were on the Wii, and so it's just exciting to see the transformation and improvements coming into the current gen Nintendo console for this game. This is one of those titles that I think will be a staple for any Switch owner of all ages, because it's just easy to pick up and play, have fun by yourself, and even more fun with friends and family. There's soccer, volleyball, bowling, tennis, badminton, and chambara. You can play against an NPC, or where I think this game shines the most is when you do verse your friends or family for the top rank. Nothing like some healthy competition to get you up and moving, am I right? You may play locally or online in different matches, even versing other opponents all around the globe to your glorious victory. My favorite games in all of the Assassin's Creed series finally hit the Switch this year, and that is the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. It's always so much fun getting to revisit old favorites, and especially coming to the Switch. It's just my preferred way to play, and it's the best way to experience these games, in my opinion. This collection includes Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and Revelations, and all the DLCs that came out for them. It takes place in 15th century Renaissance Italy, and if you've never played an Assassin's Creed game before, it does have you play as an assassin. So you must learn the ways of this life, learn the truth about the creed, and seek vengeance for the betrayal of your family. I love these games for their atmosphere. They mix in some cool historical references and facts while interweaving it with the fictional plots. It is action-packed, and what first got me hooked on these games years ago is because it's like you're playing through a good movie where you just want to keep exploring and learning more. And lastly, a game of one of my favorite animes/mangas of all time, Demon Slayer: The Hinokami Chronicles. Totally butchered that name, but we'll move on. This, I understand, might not be for everyone if you're not also into the anime, but if you do want to try out a cool narrative type fighting game, I recommend this one. I had to include it since it is my personal favorites list, after all. This game has you playing through the eyes of Tanjiro, the main character, and it follows the most memorable events of the anime. This is another one that came out on other platforms last year already, but I've been loving it for the Switch again. What can I say? The graphics are stunning, and if you've watched the show, then a lot of it will be familiar, but this time, the scenes are worth experiencing again for the fully rendered, beautiful 3D. You get to play with a total of 24 fighters, including our favorite protagonists, and also the demons, so you can get creative in putting together your never before seen matchups. Still, there's lots more game releases to look forward to in the second half of 2022, and just off the top of my head, there's Xenoblade Chronicles 3, there's Splatoon 3, of course the new generation of Pokemon games, Scarlet and Violet, and lots of cozy and indie gems to watch out for. Let me know below what games you've been loving for the Nintendo Switch in 2022 so far, and what games you're looking forward to. Thanks so much for watching. As always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.